Hi guys, welcome to my channel Your Popcorn Vlogs. In today's video, let's discuss the explanation of the recently released Telugu movie Indian Part 2. When you open the movie, you see a peaceful city from a distance, which looks beautiful and fine, but as you get closer, the harsh realities emerge. In our vast democratic country, from employees who extort money through corruption to those who embezzle billions, many engage in corruption and bribery, committing numerous injustices. The society is filled with corruption, and for every injustice and illegal act witnessed by Chitra, whether it be corrupt politicians or employees demanding bribes, he and his friends Arati, Sanjesh, and Harisha create small skits and upload them on YouTube. Chitra, in particular, is driven by a passion to bring about change in society. That is why he created a YouTube channel called Barking Dogs, where he creates videos in his style to expose every injustice happening in society. His small hope is that even a bit of change might occur due to his efforts. In the movie, hero Siddharth's full name is Chitra Arvind. Arvind loves his mother very much, so he includes her name and becomes Chitra Arvind. Friends call him Chitra. Arati, who lives next door and is the health secretary, gets arrested when income tax officials raid his house and accuse him of embezzling 1,000 crores. When people learn about this, they create a video about his actions and upload it on YouTube. In the next scene, Chitra visits the government office to learn about the Right to Education Act. During this time, he witnesses a woman jumping from the office. Rushing over to her, he came to know that her name is Sunita. She was supposed to get a teacher's job but was told she would only receive the joining letter if she paid an 8 lakh bribe. Sunita goes to the HCB to file a complaint, but the officer learns about it and decides to arrest her for allegedly obtaining the job with fake certificates. Unable to bear the humiliation, Sunita attempts to jump from the building. Since she is still alive, Chitra calls an ambulance to take her to the hospital. When the police follow the ambulance, Chitra stops them, goes ahead, and orders them to arrest the officer who demanded the bribe. The police respond that they will arrest him only if Sunita regains consciousness and gives a statement. In reality, the police also support corrupt officers. Chitra and his friends prepare a skit about the incident and upload it on YouTube. Later, after realizing Sunita had passed away, Chitra and his friends stage a protest with Sunita's body on the road. The police arrive and ask them to stop causing trouble and leave, but Chitra refuses, shouting that Sunita's death was caused by the corrupt officer and he must be arrested. The police, knowing that the videos are made by the Barking Dogs channel, arrest them for their YouTube content. Chitra's girlfriend arrives and tries to disperse everyone. She tells Chitra that he will be arrested many more times if he continues like this. She argues that the videos he makes won't bring any useful change to society. Even though someone was arrested for embezzling 1,000 crores, he was out by evening? She questions how Sunita will get justice while they were being arrested. Even if justice is on your side, if you are arrested, don't you understand? Your videos might get likes and shares, but no real change will occur in society. Shouting will not solve the problem. So leave from there. Chitra then deepens her thoughts about improving the corrupted society and the ruined country. He decides that the Senapathi, or Bharateeyudu, played by Kamal Hassan, needs to return to bring about change. He wants to make him return, and the hashtag #ComebackIndian trends on social media. The reason for the comeback is tagged with injustices, illegalities, and deaths of the poor occurring in the country. The hashtag #ComebackIndian trends widely across the nation. Cut to the abroad, where a person named Nilesh sends a message to Chitra on Instagram saying he has seen Indian there. Chitra contacts him and asks him to somehow connect with Indian. Nilesh says he will find him and talk to him within 24 hours. Meanwhile, a billionaire who has committed many scams in India and taken loans amounting to 12,000 crores from various banks, without repaying them, has fled to abroad to settle there. Many students have committed suicide due to his actions, but he is seen enjoying himself with women on his ship. Chitra, with the entry of the Senapathi, beats up all the billionaires with his varma eyes and goes into the billionaire's room. Shocked to see the Senapathi, the billionaire asks if he is still alive. The Senapathi replies that as long as people like him are alive, He will not die. The Senapathy kills the billionaire for his injustices and illegal activities. He writes something in Marathi script on a photo of a turtle found with the billionaire, stating that many have looted and ruined the country. The Senapathy starts the second struggle for independence to improve the country with the death of the billionaire. The police in that country seek help from the Indian CBI. Pramod, the CBI officer, understands that the murder was certainly done by the Senapathy due to the similarity in the writing style from 1996 and the current writing style. Pramod also knows that Bharateeyudu, the Senapathy, had previously committed murders and escaped, so it is clear to him that the Senapathy is responsible for the murder. He informs the country's police that the Senapathy is a most wanted criminal and must be caught. Cut to the Senapathy training at a martial arts center. Nilesh learns this and goes there. The Senapathy invites Nilesh closer and Nilesh tells him that the whole country is waiting for him. The Senapathy replies that he is watching every tweet and the medicine works only when the disease is advanced and the body needs it. He has also been waiting to be called like this and messages on social media saying he will come soon. Seeing this message, Chitra and his friends are very happy that Indian is returning and will bring change to society. Cut to the scene where the Senapathy begins his journey to India. Pramod receives information that the Senapathy is coming to India and tells his father about it. He vows to capture the Senapathy no matter what. Here, Pramod's father is none other than Krishna Makari, the CBI officer who tried to capture the Senapathy in the first part of Bharateeyudu movie. Krishna Makari, personally fond of the Senapathy, acknowledges that professionally, he must be imprisoned. He expresses pride that Pramod is completing the only case he couldn't solve in his career. The Senapathy lands at the airport in India, and Krishna Makari, Pramod, and the CBI officers wait at the airport. However, the Senapathy arrives in disguise with prosthetic makeup. Despite this, Pramod recognizes him and surrounds the Senapathy with the CBI officers. The Senapathy cleverly grabs Pramod's gun and threatens to kill Krishna Makari if anyone follows him, then escapes with Krishna Makari. Cut to a scene where the Senapathy and Krishna Makari stop at a place far from the car. The Senapathy uses Varmakal to incapacitate Krishna Makari for 48 hours. He then posts on Facebook that he will be live at 7 p.m. the next night. The next evening, people across the country eagerly await the Senapathy's live broadcast. At 7 p.m., the Senapathy starts the live session. In the live session, the Senapathy expresses that he does not wish to speak to those over 40. He addresses only the youth, stating that while he once believed eradicating a single instance of bribery would improve the country, he now realizes that corruption is not the only issue. Politicians, officials, businessmen, and corporates, regardless of their status, continue to commit offenses. The public has also become self-serving and no one respects or adheres to the law. The Senapathy asserts that the country needs to be clean from the bottom to the top. Pramod watches the live broadcast, and many wealthy individuals, politicians, and businessmen also tune in. The Senapathy is broadcasting live from the Secretariat, and Pramod understands this from the background items visible in the broadcast. He heads to the Secretariat to capture the Senapathy. During the live session, the Senapathy discusses how corrupt individuals might be present in one's own town or home. He mentions that he regretted having to kill someone who took a bribe. He urges everyone to question and confront corruption within their own homes and report evidence to the police. He asserts that if homes are clean, the country will be clean too. In the live session, the Senapathy brings in the health secretary, who has embezzled 1,000 crores, and uses Varmakal on him. Due to the consequences of Varmakal, the health secretary passes away after 27 days. The Senapathy applies this type of Varmakal to all who have stolen money illegally. He warns them that they will meet the same fate if they do not hand over the corrupt money to the government. He threatens to fine them and says they cannot escape from him. By the time Pramod reaches the Secretariat, the Senapathy has already left. Meanwhile, the public is very disappointed with the Senapathy's statements. While they expected him to improve the country by killing corrupt individuals, they are confused when he suggests filing cases against their own family members. This leads to a discussion between Chitra and his friends. They agree that while the idea sounds good, it is not practical. People may be willing to sacrifice their lives for their families, but how can they get their family members arrested if they make a mistake? They feel this approach is not correct. Chitra responds by expressing that they went through so much effort to bring the Senapathy back to improve the country, and now they were saying it will not work when it affects them personally. Disha then asks if Chitra would be able to report a mistake by his own family to the police. Chitra confirms that he would definitely report any mistakes made by his own family members but suggests checking their family members secretly to verify their integrity. Chitra's father, Varadaraju, who is an ACB officer, is approached by a government officer seeking a bribe. Varadaraju, following his plan, catches the officer red-handed. The officer begs Varadaraju to let him go by offering a bribe of 30 lakhs, but Varadaraju refuses and assaults him. The twist here is that Chitra has been secretly recording everything as he follows his father. He feels proud to know that his father is honest. The next morning, Chitra apologizes to his father, saying he doubted his integrity even though he knew his father was honest. He expresses guilt for doubting him. Varadaraju reassures him that there is no problem and that he can go now. Arati's mother, Kanikalitha, is a sub-registrar. A businessman named Sagan offers her a large bribe to sign some illegal real estate files. Kanikalitha agrees to sign the files but insists that Sagan must come to her office to get it done. Arati overhears and records the conversation. Doubts about her mother's integrity lead Arati to follow her closely. On the other hand, Paramad realizes that Chitra and his friends are the main reason for the Senapathy's return. He decides to keep surveillance on them to capture the Senapathy through them. Sagan goes to the registrar's office, where Kanikalitha signs the files. He then gives her a large amount of money. Arati records the entire transaction. When Kanikalitha returns home, Varadaraju and the ACB officers are ready to arrest her. Kanikalitha protests, questioning what evidence there is against her. Varadaraju tells her that her daughter provided all the evidence. Kanikalitha then confronts Arati, asking why she would go to such lengths for her future and happiness. Arati responds that she does not want comfort that comes from corrupt money and expresses her pain over her mother's actions. Despite this, Kanikalitha feels the pain of being caught accepting a bribe. Varadaraju arrests Kanikalitha and takes her away. Meanwhile, Thanraju, who works in the service, provides evidence of his uncle's corruption to the police. Harish also files a case in the consumer court against his uncle for serving adulterated food and gets the hotel sealed. While we struggle to raise and nurture them, and think about their future, it is disheartening to see them acting this way. Parents are all distressed, and the children also feel guilty for their parents' actions. This situation isn't limited to them alone. Many youths inspired by the Senapathy's words are also involved in corruption. Parents of those involved are being arrested by the police. Corruption is not just about taking bribes in government offices. It includes any business or establishment, like hotels or even water plants, that engages in deceit and earns money unfairly. Disha's younger brother is a doctor who doesn't even understand what MBBS means. He performs an appendectomy, which he learned from Google, and unjustly kills a woman in the process. Her daughter, who becomes an orphan, is devastated. Disha came to know about this and feels angered that her brother, who was supposed to be a doctor, is now taking innocent lives. She argues with her parents, but they insist that if necessary, they will provide money for the deceased. Disha then questions whether her parents would allow this doctor to perform an operation on them, should the need arise. They both fall silent. Cut to a scene where the Senapathy decides to go to Gujarat to kill a notorious figure known as the Golden Boy. Initially, this Golden Boy was just an excavator driver at a granite quarry. He later became involved in corruption, bribing politicians, and committing murders, eventually dominating the granite business. His corruption was so extreme that he even acquired a bathroom made of gold. The Senapathy uses his martial arts to make the Golden Boy run uncontrollably, causing him to bleed and eventually fall from a flyover to his death. Pramod, trying to find any clues, goes to the scene but finds nothing. In Punjab, the chairman of the Punjab Public Service Commission sells job positions in every government notification, ranging from 4 to 40 lakhs, to unqualified individuals, preventing deserving poor youths from getting jobs. Government jobs are the only excellent opportunities for the poor to rise. and he destroys even the opportunity. Many qualified aspirants fall into depression due to the lack of jobs and eventually die, caused by people like him. He becomes extremely wealthy by selling jobs and even plans to buy a seat on Mars by 2030, spending millions. While he practices zero gravity, an Indian doctor arrives at the place and uses martial arts to kill him. The effect of the martial arts is such that all the water from the body flows out, causing death within 3.5 hours. Paraman is unable to understand how the xenopathy manages to kill high-profile individuals in highly secure places. He suspects that someone might be helping the xenopathy. The next morning, Chitra wakes up his father. Varadaraju questions whether Chitra has come to check on him again and apologize. Chitra apologizes and suggests going downstairs. When they reach the hall, they find ACB officers waiting to arrest Varadaraju. All those who previously worked with Varadaraju are the ones arresting him. Chitra provides evidence to the ACB against Varadaraju. The issue is that after the arrest of Arati's mother, her husband comes to Chitra and accuses that Varadaraju, who is supposedly an honest man, had accepted a huge bribe from the health secretary, who had embezzled 1,000 crores. This bribe allowed him to escape from a case by the evening. He says that the death of Sunita, who fought for justice, was actually caused by Varadaraju. Chitra does not believe this at first, but when Pawan, the health secretary's son, is beaten and questioned, he admits that Varadaraju took the bribe and that he gave it. Regarding Sunita's case, they demand locks for a teacher's job. The officer demands 8 locks instead of the 6.5 locks Chitra's father had already arranged for a heart operation. Unable to do anything else, Sunita goes to the ACB office to file a complaint against Varadaraju. Varadaraju offers Sunita some money and asks her to deliver it to the DPA office, promising that they will catch the officer red-handed when he receives the bribe. As per the plan, Varadaraju catches the officer, but the officer, in turn, negotiates with Varadaraju for a deal, suggesting they should meet privately. After all this, the case is filed against Sunita for obtaining a job with fake certificates. We have seen everything that happened, including Sunita's jump from the office and her death. Chitra tells his father that although he deeply loves him and feels sorrow for having to turn him into the police, he has no other option. Varadaraju asks for 2 minutes to talk to his son, and they grant him the time. He asks Chitra why he did this, asserting that everything he did was for his happiness and future. Chitra responds that even if he bought something with his salary, he would have been happy. However, knowing that every item bought was funded by bribes and the deaths of innocent people makes him shiver. He taught him to be honest from a young age, but now he himself is engaging in such acts. He questions whether he should follow honesty or corruption. The ACB officers arrest Varadaraju, and his wife cries profusely. Chitra tries to comfort her mother, but she angrily asks Chitra to leave the house. Chitra goes to his YouTube studio, and not only Chitra but also Arati, Sanjesh, and Harish all move away from home. As visuals of their parents being arrested are shown on the news, they watch in distress. At that time, the xenopathy sends them a video message saying, "When you brought your parents to justice, the first tear that fell from your eyes will be the first victory of the second independence struggle I am waging. Tomorrow, I will meet you directly to congratulate you." The next day, the 4 of them are excited to meet the xenopathy. At that time, Arati receives a call, and everyone starts reacting. Chitra thinks that xenopathy might have sent a location for a meeting and assumes that they are going there, but instead, Arati instructs to park the car near Chitra's house. Surprised, Chitra finds some excitement in this, but soon, a major shock hits his life. Chitra's mother has committed suicide. Unable to bear the comments about her husband, Chitra's heart shatters as he cries, calling for his mother, and is about to enter his home. However, his maternal uncle and grandfather stop him, accusing him of causing this situation and saying he does not deserve to see his mother. At the same time, police arrive at the house with Varadaraju. Varadaraju, enraged by the situation, lashes out at Chitra, who is unable to even touch his mother's body. Chitra cries uncontrollably, lamenting that he could not even perform the last rites for his mother and feeling that his family bond has been severed with her death. Varadaraju tells Chitra that due to his actions, the entire family connection has been destroyed. He accuses Chitra of following the Senapathi's ideology, which has turned his home into a cemetery. Chitra questions why his mother had to die for his father's mistakes and argues that if this is the result of following the Senapathi's teachings, then it only leads to devastation. He also mentions that corruption is prevalent not just in one home but across many families in the country, causing numerous deaths and shame. He posts a hashtag #GoBackIndian expressing that people like the Senapathi are not needed for the country. He urges the Senapathi to leave the country. Many people quickly start trending the #GoBackIndian hashtag. Chitra, who was once called back to make the country better, now questions the Senapathi's intentions. The Senapathi, in pain, leaves. At the exact moment the Senapathi is leaving, Pramod and his team surround him. The Senapathi begs Pramod not to hinder his mission, but Pramod escapes using a smoke bomb, fleeing on a child's bicycle while Pramod chases him. Meanwhile, Sadgun repeatedly mentions on his news channel that Chitra died because of the Senapathi, inciting the public against him and hiring some goons to kill the Senapathi. Police visuals of the Senapathi being chased are shown on TV. Some government officers, seeing these visuals and feeling their honor has been tarnished, unite to kill the Senapathi. The Senapathi, using his wit, escapes from Pramod but is pursued by the goons sent by Sadgun, who are determined to kill him. But the Senapathi escapes from his pursuers and goes into an old factory. The goons, underestimating the Senapathi due to his age, surround him inside the factory. However, the Senapathi uses his special powers to fight off all of them. While escaping, Pramod shoots at the Senapathi, but he manages to evade the bullet and escape. Pramod and others in the city attempt to kill him, rounding up people in the city center to find him. The news goes viral, blaming the Senapathi for Chitra's mother's death, causing a widespread emotional reaction and bringing government officials affected by the damage caused by the Senapathi. Everyone comes together to capture the Senapathi, who is beaten with sticks and stones. As they were about to kill him, Pramod arrives with the police and disperses the crowd, arresting the Senapathi and putting handcuffs on him. Later, Pramod removes his bulletproof jacket, and the Senapathi, seizing the opportunity, throws a small stick and attacks Pramod in a weak spot, causing him to fall unconscious. Pramod is immediately taken to the hospital, and the Senapathi is taken to a special court. The doctors at the hospital inform Krishnamurthy that only those who understand the special powers can save Pramod, and if they do not succeed within 3 hours, Pramod will die. Krishnamurthy realizes that only the Senapathi can save Pramod and rushes with him to the special court. Krishnamurthy begs the judge to allow the Senapathi to treat his son, pleading that the Senapathi is the only hope for his son's survival. The judge agrees, but the Senapathi demands that he be left alone in return for saving Pramod. The judge does not agree to this condition, so Krishnamurthy argues that if the Senapathi is captured, his son will die and pleads with the judge to reconsider. The entire family of Krishnamurthy begs the judge, who eventually agrees to the condition under the dire situation to save Pramod's life. The Senapathi, instructing not to follow him and to forget him for 24 hours, gets into the ambulance with Pramod and leaves. The remaining story will be in Part 3, which was shown as a trailer after the movie ended. The visuals of Part 3 were even more thrilling than those of Indian 2. If you have enjoyed the video so far, please like and subscribe to the channel to support us. Let's meet again in another video. Until then, take care. Goodbye.